The rebirth of the Yellow Flash Prelude Shippuden. The next day. The stage was set. The crowd was oozing with anticipation and excitement. Betting booths were full to the brink with everyone trying to get in a good bet or two. Up in the Kage box even the 4 Kage couldn't help but wonder who would win. Each of the 3 competitors were S-ranked in at least one shinobi department, so the fight was bound to be a very high-class one. In the competitors' box. Hey, you can literally feel their excitement. Naruto commented amusedly as he glanced at the crowd outside. What do you expect from our previous performances and the fact that you are very well liked in Kumo? It was bound to attract a rather large audience. Niji said as he looked at Naruto from the corner of his eyes. Not only that, but a Hyuga who has no qualms in using ninjutsu and one of the 7 swordsmen of the mist in a 3-way battle is a rather juicy event. Chojiro said in a rather serious voice which contrasted with his usual shy stutter. I didn't think of it in that context. Niji said with a shrug as silence entered the group. Down in the field. Welcome to the finals of the annual Jonin exams. Today's final will be a 3-way battle. It will be Namikaze Naruto of Konoha versus Hyuga Niji of Konoha versus Chojiro of Mizu. The 3 of them appeared into the field in their own personal shushins. And stared each other down. Darui looked at the 3 before he jumped away to safety before swiping his hand down and saying, "Begin." Niji and Chojiro both jumped away before simultaneously turning around and facing Naruto, who merely raised an eyebrow at the now 2-on-1 situation. Sorry about this, Naruto, but you are the biggest threat in these exams, so it's imperative that we work together to take you out first. Niji said with an apologetic look on his face. Hey, it's okay. It was after all a part of your strategy. But don't worry, I will still be victorious. Naruto said with a grin as he unsheathed his sword and created a sealless shadow clone. Naruto then used chakra right to imprint a number of chakra containment seals on his clone to ensure that it did not dispel with a single hit. After that, both Naruto and his clone activated their Sharingans before charging towards Niji and Chojiro. The original rushed to fight Chojiro in a Kenjutsu battle while the clone went head-to-head with Niji in a Taijutsu battle. With the Kages. What's Naruto planning? Will one clone be enough? I wondered out loud. It's not just one clone. That clone has 40% of Naruto-kun's chakra and is littered with containment seals. This will be tough fight for Niji-kun. Mei explained, getting a nod of understanding from the Kages. At the spectator stands. What is that fiancé of yours doing, Blondie? Taking on a swordsman of the mist in Kenjutsu and a Hyuga in Taijutsu? He must have a death wish. Kuratsuchi said as she looked on with Samui on her side. Both the girls had bandages all around their bodies, a result from the battle they had last night. I believe in Naruto-kun. He will be winning this even if he is taking them on in their own specialties. Samui stoically said. If you say so, Blondie, if you say so. Kuratsuchi said as she shook her head towards her new friend. Back in the field. Naruto versus Chojiro. Naruto slashed his sword towards Chojiro, who used his Himuraki to meet him head-on. The 2 of them were now engrossed in a heated Kenjutsu battle with neither of them giving each other any room to work with. You are really good. Naruto commented as both of them jumped back before taking their stances once again. The same can be said about you, Naruto-san. You would definitely have made the 7 if you were born in the hidden mist. Chojiro said. Thanks for the compliment, but I am afraid I will have to end this. Itoriu Shirsi-san. Naruto said before he disappeared in a burst of speed and swung his sword at Chojiro, who upon contact turned into a puddle of water. A substitution. Naruto thought before he quickly took out a 3-pronged kunai before throwing it into the wall. He then just in time disappeared in a yellow flash as Chojiro shouted, "Himuraki-I unbound hell stomp." He said as a large stomp hit the ground just as Naruto disappeared in his flash. "You are good, Chojiro-san. You managed to make me use the Hiraishin. Not many can claim to have done that." Naruto commented as he reappeared next to his kunai. "Thank you for the compliment, Naruto-san. I never thought I'd ever see the move that made the Nidaime and Yondaime Hokages so famous," Chojiro said. Naruto smirked a bit before he threw his kunai into the air before making a single hand sign and saying, "Kunai kage bunshin no jutsu." Immediately one kunai began 30, after which they randomly fell down in the field surrounding. Chojiro, knowing that he was cornered, took a deep defensive stance and readied himself for an attack from any direction. Naruto clone NC vs Neji. You must be really confident with yourself if you think a mere clone will be enough to handle me, Neji said, slightly affronted. Don't worry, boss isn't looking down on you. The seals on me ensure that I am as real as him. It will be an interesting fight. I always wanted to see who would win, the Sharingan or the Byakugan, NC said as he activated his 3-tomoed Sharingan and stared into Neji's white Byakugan. Both of them then charged at each other before beginning a taijutsu battle. Naruto's combination of the hummingbird, swirl style and toad style taijutsu was more than enough to keep Neji on his toes. Also the fact that NC had coated his tenketsu with chakra, making the Juken strikes lose a little bit of their effectiveness. The Sharingan to helped as Naruto was able to see and predict a bit of Neji's moves, making countering a little easier. With the Kages. Amazing. That Gaki will never stop impressing me, I commented as watched Naruto match both of his opponents in their own departments. What do you know, I may just get to watch the Hiraishin again. Even if it's a taboo in IWA, it's still a dream move, Anoki said as he watched the kunai with interest. He is quite the impressive young man, Mei commented as she looked at Naruto with more than a little interest. Well, it was to be expected of him. He was the strongest back in our Chunin exams, and this is just him showing that he is still the best of our generation, Gaara said with a barely noticeable smile. He was happy to see that his friend had grown over the past 3 years. Damn, that Gaki is worth a lot of paperwork. The daimyo loved his work. The council wants him back ASAP. Both Itachi and Sarutobi-sensei talk about him. I am sure he has gone on well ahead of their expectations. Seriously, if he keeps on growing at the rate I will just give him the Hokage's hat in a couple of years stat. Heck, I won't be surprised if Sarutobi-sensei decides to name him as the next god of the shinobi. He has almost 7 shinobi departments downright mastered, and that's a scary fact, Tsunade said, getting flustered nods from around the room. Oanoki however grumbled at the unfairness of Konoha having another monstrous Namikaze in their ranks. At the stands. Wow, Blondie, you weren't joking when you talked about your fiancé there. He really is amazing, Kuratsuchi said, stunned by the display of power and skill in front of her. I told you so. But the fight isn't over by a long shot. Both of his opponents are masters in their respective fields. It will be tough to beat them. If I am not mistaken, things will be about to heat up soon, Samui stoically replied. I know, ninjutsu and whatnot is soon going to be added into the mix, Kuratsuchi said in agreement as she turned to look at the field. Back in the field. Neji jumped back before he took a stance and called out, you are in my field of divination, 8 trigrams 128 palms, he said before his arms blurred in speed and quickly began striking NC. NC, despite having coated his body with his chakra, couldn't help but feel all 128 strikes and was soon sent crashing into the wall, dispelling himself in the process. Neji then jumped up and landed next to Chojiro, who was now in defensive posture. Spotting the kunais littered around them, he created a clone himself who took the stance for Kaiten. And then the clone began spinning around, dispelling the kunai clones until only was left. Interesting. Thanks for pointing out a flaw in my technique, Niji. I will be sure to work on it in the near future. Naruto said as he stroked his chin in a thoughtful manner. However, he soon snapped his attention back to his opponents, as he created 2 shadow clones, and all 3 of them started going through hand signs for 3 separate elements, one for each hand of his. Wind, water and lightning. His action sent Niji and Chojiro into action, as well as both of them started going through their own set of hand signs. Soon all 3 competitors had fired their own set of jutsus. Lightning style lightning wolf jutsu. Niji shouted. Water style water dragon jutsu. Chojiro shouted. Wind style wind dragon jutsu. Water style water dragon jutsu. Lightning style lightning wyvern jutsu. Collaboration jutsu shiny tri-headed elemental dragon. Naruto called out, releasing all 3 jutsus at once. A colossal tri-headed dragon soon appeared in the arena before it gave out a loud roar. The dragon then proceeded to attack Niji and Chojiro, only to be met by a single-headed and significantly smaller dragon. Naruto's dragon soon overpowered its opponent before it attacked Niji and Chojiro. It was only due to Niji's clone being ready and using the Kaiten that they were able to survive. As soon as the clone had stopped spinning, Naruto disappeared in a flash of yellow before he razinged both Chojiro and Niji into the wall, effectively rendering them unconscious. Naruto sighed to himself before he deactivated his Sharingan and nodded towards Darui, who jumped into the war-torn field and called out, "And the winner of the annual Jonin exams is Namikaze Naruto." The crowd burst into cheers, even the Kages were clapping at the ridiculous display of skills. Naruto, being the ever-humble idiot he was, blushed a bit in embarrassment before he sheepishly waved to the crowd as he scratched the back of his head. Time skip the next day. Naruto was seen inside Samu's apartment lazing around in the bed. It was still a week before which the Konoha contingent was expected to return thanks to the injuries the competitors had picked up. As Naruto lay on the bed, his mind went back to the conversation he had with Tsunade. Flashback no jutsu. You wanted to see me, Tsunade-sama? Naruto asked as he entered Tsunade's hotel room. Ah yes, Naruto, thank you for coming. For starters, I would like to congratulate you on the superb performance in the finals. Konoha has definitely earned quite a few cookie points because of it. Tsunade said. I don't think I should get the whole credit, Tsunade-sama. Niji, Aizen and even Kiba played their roles. And was that all you needed of me? Asked Naruto. Not really. Since we'll be returning soon, you should know that the council will try and limit your movements so as to keep you safe. They intend to try and enact the Clan Restoration Act on you. Tsunade said. Well, they can try. The original rules set down by your grandfather and granduncle state that it is the choice of one on whether he or she wants to be enacted with the Clan Restoration Act or not. And in order to save you the headache of council continuously pestering you by taking a genin team. Though I have a condition on who I want as my genin. Naruto said as he crossed his arms and looked at Tsunade. That actually works, so what brats do you want? Tsunade asked with a grin. Hanabi Hyuga, Konohamaru Sarutobi, Moegi Utane and Udon Hamur. Naruto said. Well, that certainly solves the problem of having an uneven number of brats. Alright, fine brat, I will assign them as your team when we get back. That is all, you may go. Tsunade said, making Naruto nod, after which he disappeared in a flash of yellow light. Flashback no Jutsu Kai. He was brought out of his musings when he felt something warm lean into his side. Looking down, he saw Samu's bluish-green orbs staring up at him questioningly. Naruto smiled at her before he pulled her until she was on top of him, her chest mashed against his, with his hands pinning her waist and keeping her in place. Just thinking about home and everything, Dadabayo. It's been 3 years, and to tell you the truth, I am feeling a little overwhelmed on how things may or may not have changed there. You know, it's just Dadabayo. Naruto ground out. I know what you mean. But don't worry, they will be proud of you. Just like I and Tu-sama are. Samui said as she stroked his cheeks lovingly. Thanks, I needed that. Naruto said before he leaned in and captured Samui's lips in a soft kiss. You know, I will be taking on a genin team when we get back to Konoha, Dadabayo. Naruto said. Are you okay? You've used your verbal tick several times already. Normally you seem to have more control over it. Samui asked with a tilt of her head. Well, what can I say? I lose control when I am excited or incredibly relaxed. And I am always incredibly relaxed in your presence. Dadabayo. Naruto finished as he changed their position so that both of them were on the bed and Naruto was nuzzling his head in her DD cup bobs. This is definitely the definition of heaven. Naruto's muffled voice reached Samui, making her blush red before she giggled lightly and wrapped her arms around his head, pulling him closer to her. Both of them gave in blissful sighs before they let sleep claim them. Next week would be a good one. Elsewhere far away. Is everyone ready? A blank voice asked out loud to a group of 9 astral figures. Yes, we have the required funds we need for the operation. A cold raspy voice answered to the first. Very well, after we receive the locations for the Jinchuriki we shall begin our operations. Soon the world shall know pain. The first figure said, opening his eyes to show purple ringed ones that shone with power. That is all for this video. See you next time.